welcoming Bobby Carpenter to the desk. He's Ohio State royalty. But I need you to justify your pick. Make a case for why they can get it done.
Well, I think when you look at this Ohio State team, everybody looks at Oregon with all the skill, the speed that they have. Mark Helfrich, Chip Kelly, Marcus Mariota, what he's able to do. This Ohio State team now is underrated. Urban Meyer has done a terrific job recruiting speed, and I think it really showcased itself in the Sugar Bowl against Alabama. They have receivers that are able to get behind just about any defensive backs in the country. It's going to be a high-scoring affair, and I think the difference is going to come down to the guys up front. The offensive line and defensive line of Ohio State, I think, will make the difference in this game. You want to talk about a guy playing in a pressure situation, being down 21-6 against possibly the best defensive coach in college football, and being able to battle back from that, very impressive.
Bobby, you host a Buckeye radio show, 97.1, and so what were the reactions to Cardale Jones? Were people excited about the fact that he started and he's playing well, or were they concerned?
Concerned that he's playing well?
No, concerned that he wasn't that he wouldn't be able to take them this far.
I think people were nervous. There was just a lot of ambiguity. Like Skip said, he came from nowhere. Could this guy be good? Could he be bad? What's he going to do? Will he shrink under the pressure? And you see the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin. When you get in a blowout early on, you really don't find out a lot about a guy. The question was going to be, how would he respond when he's put in an adverse situation? Like I just said, down 21-6 against the SEC, probably one of the best programs of the last decade, if not, in Alabama. Nick Saban defense, how do you respond and come back? 28 unanswered points, pretty impressive to me.
Give us some thought about why that clicked this year in this man at age 34.
Well, he's a guy that's always going to tinker and work with his throwing motions a little bit, so I think he's done some things to shorten up his throwing motion, mechanically that have helped him get the ball out quicker. But no quarterback is an island unto themselves. They need help. They need blocking. They need protection up front. Dallas has done a terrific job the last 3-4 years drafting offensive linemen. He now has that time. And then on top of that, the emergence of DeMarco Murray in that running game. Now when Tony...
Mr. Smith.
And absolutely. And now when he takes the field, I don't have to throw it 45 times to win the game. Look at that Denver Bronco game from a year ago. He played a terrific game and throws an interception at the end, and now it's all for naught.
Do you remember that game? I don't think you remember that game.
Yeah, he threw for 505 yards, and they lose, 51-48?
It was crazy.
So if you don't have to go out there and know that you're going to throw the ball 45 times to win the game, Stephen A., it's a little bit easier to come out and play relaxed.
Yeah, and by the way, you got to tell these folks who you had dinner with last night and what he said.
Yeah, I came in here and he felt pretty good about the situation. He was confident. I was leaning a little bit Green Bay coming to this. I've got allegiances on both sides. But after kind of watching some more of the stuff and sitting down and talking with those guys, they're confident. Like you said, there's a confidence about that team, I think. It's reassuring, and I think that's something that maybe hasn't been there for the last couple years.
It has not been there.
And listen, I want to get inside the mind, get to really understanding.
You didn't know this before last night?
Well, here's the one thing. I'll tell you this. Tony Romo, Aaron Rodgers, 2 highest quarterback ratings, passer ratings of playoff quarterbacks now. Of overall their career. The one thing that Tony has that Aaron doesn't right now is his legs and his ability to move in the pocket, buy time, get the ball down the field. That, my friend, is the difference. That will be the difference.
Hold on.
At this point right now, what's their mentality about roughly 36 hours before kickoff?
Well, I think this is the point where you see Urban Meyer and his mastery as a coach and the psychology major that he is, getting his team ready to go, getting them prepared to make sure they don't peak too early. You want to make sure that they're at a slow boil, so they're slowly getting into this game, getting ready to go. They have the 11-day layoff, so it's important that they get ready to go, prepare for the game, but that they don't peak on Saturday, Sunday. They got to be ready to go on Monday night.
All right, so what's their swing thought here? You heard Tim Tebow say 16 seconds. That's the moniker, right? That's the amount of time they need to keep in mind with Oregon just ripping off those plays so quickly.
Well, I think defensively, you want to make sure you try to keep them between the hashes. Oregon likes to stretch the ball wide. They want to make sure that you have to defend 53 yards of the field. If you can keep them between the hashes, shorten it up, substitutions will be big, and make them drive the football. Don't give up the big shots down the field, because when they have to drive it, there's opportunities for turnovers. You can have some success defensively, get that offense on the field, and allow them to start moving the ball.
Give us a sense of who Cardale Jones is and how he has been able to perform like this in these monstrously huge games. This is only going to be his 3rd start ever.
What's pretty impressive, he's a big guy. He's got a very strong arm, as everybody has seen, but he's kind of unflappable in the pocket. And sometimes when you haven't played enough to know how big the moment is, that can be a very, very good situation. I think he's gotten to that point right now.
Going up against the Packers today, what's his mindset?
I think he understands that, this time it's not all him. In the past, he had to rely a lot on his arm to try to win the game, throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. Now he's able to go out there, they can hand the ball to DeMarco Murray, they can run it, and then you can rely on him for 30 passes a game and moving the ball down the field that way, as opposed to sitting back in the pocket, throwing it 40, 45 times. That's not fun for anybody.
I know you're friends with A.J. Hawk, too, on the other side, but you got to pick the game for me very quickly.
Gosh, going in, I liked Green Bay all week.
Yeah?
Once I got down here talking to those guys, I had to switch it to Dallas.
All right, there you go. He's going with the home team.